the top tokens for trading for the week. And for trading, I'm going to say I only want to look at projects with a 75% grade or higher for trader grade. And then I want a bullish signal for trading. Don't want to trade anything bearish right now. And I want something that's liquid. So I want to say 10 million trading volume or higher. So, and I don't want anything that is not worth the risk. So I'm going to put in solicitation ratio. Actually, let's see if I can find one with 2 or higher. That might be tough, but let's see if there's any alpha in that signal. All right, so this is the list. Not financial advice. Yeah, so this is actually pretty quick. So we got Trader Joe, we got Edgecoin, we got Stacks, which we're actually in a trade on Stacks right now. It's a way to get exposure to BTC without having to invest in BTC, because it basically it's highly correlated with Bitcoin, because it's a layer 2 on Bitcoin, undervalued with more upside. Let's add some kind of quality control here. So we're gonna filter out for, I only want projects on Binance, Coinbase, Gate, Gemini, Kraken, and KuCoin. Let's do that. That should filter out some riskier projects. Okay, so we've only got Trader Joe and GALA. Okay, so we've got Trader Joe. Our signal turned bullish on the 18th. It's up almost 100% in the last 2 weeks already. Actually, not sure why solicitation ratio here is different than what we have on the ratings page. So we're gonna have to actually talk with our team on that and see what's going on. Okay, it's currently at at 41 cents, almost 42 cents. Next levels I'm seeing is we've got 80 cents. And let's look at on-chain data. Yeah, so it's the 10th DEX on Arbitrum. So its TVL is 16 million. Very, very low. Although it's one of the main DEXs on Avalanche, it hasn't really penetrated the Arbitrum ecosystem. You got Uniswap and Sushi basically taking all the capital. So the question is, how undervalued is it? I think if you want to tap into the Arbitrum ecosystem trend, it might be worth looking into it as a trade. But for me, I have to double check why the solicitation ratio is different on here versus the actual rating page. That is something that's concerning. But Stacks is one that we've been covering a lot. It's at $1.05, turned bullish January 13th. It's had a decent month, about 60%. But the reason why I've been kind of keeping tabs on this, very high alpha on this trading signal. And if we go to correlation, it is highly correlated with Bitcoin, and surprisingly also with Ethereum, right? So basically it's an altcoin that moves with Bitcoin and ETH. At least right now is a good trade, especially with Bitcoin ordinal NFTs and what's been happening with that narrative. This has had a pretty decent month. So that's one. Then we got Radiant Capital, which is actually lending on Arbitrum. So if we go back to DeFi Llama, and let's look at the Arbitrum ecosystem. Oh, wow. So the TVL has gone up a lot. Okay, yeah. So it's basically the #1 lending protocol on Arbitrum. It has more liquidity than Aave, but Aave has also moved up a lot. That could be worth a trade. Long-term holding it, I'm not so sure. Tokenomics are not the best, but as a trade, I think worth looking at this. Just kind of based on the signal here. And it's on Gate, OKX, and KuCoin. All right, so that's one other one. Then we've got GALA with a decent investor grade. Just turned bullish here on the 18th. Okay, this alpha in this signal, it's on Coinbase, OKX. To me, basically all this is a watch list I'm creating. Then I would go and do even more research. I would look at the community on Twitter, see what people are saying, if there's anything happening, any fundamental catalysts happening, right? So for example, all these Arbitrum ecosystem projects are trending because there's been over $1 billion of capital, almost $2 billion of capital being infused into the Arbitrum ecosystem. So people are taking profits, either going to ETH, stablecoins, or even putting it into new altcoins directly on the ecosystem. So that kind of makes sense why these projects could have a huge week. Then GALA is more of a gaming project, I believe, Metaverse. But even them, the tokenomics are not the best. But all these are basically just short-term trades. I'm not sure if there's anything happening with this in terms of fundamental catalysts, but something says this is worth looking into. Although the grade preferably should be over 80%, but out of the list we've had, this is worth looking at. I see it's trending upwards. So wouldn't be surprised next week if it goes over 80%, because it's already up almost 5%. So, I mean, that's really the list of projects I'll be watching for next week to trade based on these filters, right? Based on being on a well-known exchange that's reputable, based on trading signal that's bullish, based on having a trading rate over 75%, and based on having a decent solicitation ratio that has some alpha. That's what I would do. Not financial advice. Thank you for watching that video, but be sure to tell a friend that not being in crypto is a financial crime. And click the video down below to get even more alpha in the next video.